The morning I learned peace can actually be loud started with three strangers in neon vests crunching through the frost on my pasture like they bought the whole sunrise. That's the same sunrise I'd spent 6 years clawing back, $1 at a time, until it finally felt like mine. I could hear their boots before I saw the gear tripods, scopes, all that glossy survey equipment that's meant to look official from a distance, but up close just screams trespass. Just like that, the quiet I paid for on 10 acres was gone, swapped out for official talk and the slow death of privacy. Out here in Red Bluff County, mornings are simple by design. I like my coffee smoky and strong. My old Shepherd mix, Scout, drapes himself across my boots like a warning. The hills catch the first light like somebody peeling the night away with 2 fingers and telling me, "All right, son, you made it." I'm not fancy. Not rich, just a guy who took every overtime shift, every crummy holiday no one wanted, and turned it into a little square of land where the rules are honest. Fix the fence, mow when you need to, wave at your neighbor if you pass them on County Road 12. That's it. No committees, no approved mailbox colors, no snarky notes about mulch being the wrong shade. That's how I like it. So when the biggest of those 3 strangers glanced at me like I was the problem, I set my mug down and walked over. "Morning," I said, just flat enough to let him know this could go either way. "Mind telling me why your boots are making maps of my grass?" He tapped his vest like it was a badge and rattled off something about Harper and Hart Surveying, working for Meadow Ridge Association, some initial topo for amenity zones. He pointed to a map, all color-coded. My slope was shaded lilac. My garden was a gray box, and an arrow stamped access easement sliced right through my mother's wild lilac bush. The one I promised to keep alive. Filed with the county, he said, like that meant I should roll over. I didn't yell. I went quiet, the kind of quiet that means business. "Buddy, this property's outside your HOA boundary. Check before I bought it. Your jurisdiction ends at the ridge." He gave me that half-second look the one people have when they're told to expect resistance, but keep pushing anyway. "We have authorization," he said, a little softer. "You can call the office." I said, "I'll call somebody, turn on my heel, and walk back to the house where I keep the things that say I live here." The Remington leaned by the door, oiled and ready since last deer season. I didn't even chamber around, didn't need to. Just slung it over my shoulder, calm as if I was fixing a fence post, and told them, "You've got 30 seconds to step off, or I'm calling this in as armed trespass." Because a tripod's a weapon when it's in the wrong hands. The big guy's hand shot up. Gear clattered. Somebody tripped over the tripod and cursed. They scrambled into 2 white vans and took off like the pasture was on fire. But it didn't end there. By noon, I was parked outside the county recorder's office with my hands gripping the wheel so tight I might have twisted it off. I gave my parcel number to the receptionist, and she gave me the look you give someone right before you break bad news. "Mr. Bennett, someone from Land Records will speak with you." Enter Greg Miller, a guy with a dress shirt that quit trying and a tie that's been tired for a week. He clicked through files like my life was a spreadsheet. "According to the system, your 10 acres have been reassigned to Meadow Ridge Association under Administrative Code 12B, pending ownership clarification." "What does that mean?" "It means," he sighed, "your property's under provisional HOA oversight until ownership is verified." I had all my paperwork. Bought the land, paid my taxes, survey markers still in, drone footage from every angle. "Your original documents are flagged in review due to an administrative challenge," Greg shrugged. "Submitted by Lydia Park, president of Meadow Ridge. They claim your land was excluded from a 2010 reservation. They want it back." I said, "Print every page. Attachments, emails, everything." He hesitated, then nodded. On the drive home, my mailbox was left wide open, contents scattered in the ditch. The east gate latch looked freshly gouged. I pulled the cards from my trail cams, made coffee I didn't need, and flipped through stills until I found someone in a hoodie, rifling through my mailbox with purpose. Not the type who wanted the package. The kind who wants records to disappear. So, I did what stubborn men do: replace locks, swap batteries in every camera, put up new signs, private land. Not under HOA. Trespassers prosecuted. Then I parked my ATV on the south rise, rifle across the rack. Not a threat, just the rules. 2 days later, while fueling up, Rhonda Goodwin called, voice tight. "Cole, there's a bulldozer on your property." My tires screamed the whole way home. Sure enough, a yellow dozer idled at my fence. 3 hard hats walking lines right through my mother's garden. I didn't shout. I just went inside, came back with the Remington, and found Deputy Blake Romero waiting, feet planted like he owned the world. "Mr. Bennett, put the gun down and step away." "What am I looking at, Blake?" I asked. "We got a report of an armed threat against authorized contractors. Sites under Meadow Ridge." "Paperwork can't cut my fence," I said. "I've got deeds, surveys, drone footage. This is my land. If there's a dispute, take it to court," he said, softer now. "Right now, they've got temporary authority. I don't make the rules." So I laid the rifle down, showed my hands, and told them to watch me use their rules. By nightfall, my attorney, Nina, filed an emergency injunction. I spent the night listening for scouts growl and watching camera feeds, knowing someone had been rifling my file cabinet. Sure enough, someone had. Only thing missing was the sense of safety. Then the twist. An email, no subject, just 6 words: "I'm not part of this. Come alone." Everything about it screamed setup, but I went anyway. It was a paralegal from the HOA's law firm, Aaron Shaw. "Can't keep my job and my soul," she whispered, sliding a flash drive to me, evidence of forged signatures, memos instructing the engineers to keep pushing, and emails straight from Lydia Park. "By the time anyone untangles the paperwork, the pool will be poured," she'd said. I thanked Aaron like a person and took the evidence to Nina. We made copies, tagged every file, and braced for war. The courtroom was tense: fluorescent lights, anxious whispers, Nina with her iron suit, Lydia Park smug as ever with her Denver lawyer. Nina laid out our side: deeds, taxes, survey markers, drone footage, and Aaron's testimony about cut-and-pay signatures and peasants and permits. The forensic guy proved the signature was digitally lifted from an old escrow file. Metadata, all wrong. The judge didn't blink. The document is a forgery. Her ruling landed hard. The HOA's claims were invalidated. Permits revoked. Lydia Park found personally liable for conspiracy and fraud. $3.2 million in damages, criminal charges coming. No cheers, just the collective exhale of a community set free. When all was said and done, Walter from the HOA board came to me, folder in hand, shame in his eyes, and confessed he'd signed things he never read. Aaron started a firm for people like me, and I left her a 5-star review. Kept my land. Didn't get shot. Would hire again. You know what I rebuilt first? The fence. Hired a vet-turned-welder who built me a gate you couldn't cut through with anything less than a miracle. Private land, not subject to HOA. Trespassers will be prosecuted. Underneath, a brass plate. Smile for the drone. Not a threat, a promise. Spring stitched the bulldozer scars with green. I planted a new lilac for Mom. Scout learned to sleep hard again. And now, every so often, cars slow down at my gate, some wave, some stare. Maybe I'm the troublemaker, or maybe I'm the guy who made the neighborhood a little safer. After the story made rounds on podcasts and news, my inbox filled with folks facing the same thing. People call me a hero, but I know what real heroes look like. I just held the line. Maybe that's enough these days. So, here's my question for you: where do you draw the line between community standards and strangers with clipboards erasing your history? How far should a neighborhood go to improve something it doesn't own? Drop your take below. Tell me if you've tangled with a board, a bully, or a bulldozer. And if this hit a nerve, share it with the one neighbor who thinks a sign is as good as a deed. I'll be out here under a sky I can name, smiling for the drone.